So here we are in the shed with the Bulldog and AJ, Shayne, the Bulldog Burgess, two-time World Grand Prix runner-up, UK Open runner-up, World Championship semi-finalist and PDC World number 3. You've played with some of the biggest names in darts and you was involved in probably the dark ages of the PDC when it was up and coming. You know, now everyone knows what the PDC is. They know probably the top 10, but you've got a story to tell, an incredible story to tell, and we've got to start right from the beginning, haven't we, really?
Well, we have, yeah, and it's it's a long story. My story starts about 1978. Sorry. I was 14 in 1978, and that's when I started playing Super League. I used to go and watch more, really. I played maybe. I used to play in. There was a pub called the Welcome Stranger. My mate from school, my best mate at school, Mark Card, his dad was a good player, and we used to go and play Sunday dinner times in the Welcome Stranger. And 14 years old was when I won my first trophy. I beat his dad in the final, and it's just a knockout thing I think it was for a couple of points. I was only 14. So I got the trophy, but I didn't get the points.
Oh, changed it for Coca-Cola.
yeah. And I just got the bug from there. We used to play at school. We used to play, the boys in woodwork used to make the trophies. In fact, one of the boys made a dartboard, a wooden dartboard. The other boys in metalwork used to make the plaques, and we used to, and our form teacher was a maths teacher called Mr. Limerick, and we used to call him Limp, but he didn't know that. We used to stay after school, and the girls and the boys, we all stayed and played mixed pairs tournaments, and he loved it because we were learning maths.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was very competitive. We loved it. We used to stay till about 4 or 5 o'clock after school.
And in that time frame, like in the late 70s, that's when darts was really first coming onto the TV screens. I mean, you had the indoor league before that, but then you had the first World Championships, and then you had the News of the World and World Masters. So was it seeing it on TV and then going, I fancy a bit of that, or was it you saw it in the pubs first? What was...
No, we used to bunk off school and watch the indoor league.
Right.
Yeah. Alan Evans and Eric and who else was in it?
Alan Glazier.
Tony Riddler. I was quite good friends with Tony Riddler. Well, I think he's no longer with us, but his boy was a good player. Young Tony Riddler.
Yeah.
Right? He's still about, I think. And he had an unusual left to right throw, a bit like Bobby George. You know?
Yeah.
We used to bunk off school, watch this, absolutely mad for it. I was, but my mate Mark, he was a far better player than me, and I wasn't that good, and I was one of them that was dead keen, but all the gear and no idea. You know?
There's still that now, nowadays.
And I just carried on playing. And then it is a long story. I sort of gave up. I used to hang around with a lot of other kids and boys, and we got into pool. When I first started drinking, when I was about 17, 18.
For legal purposes, 18.
Yeah. So we started playing in the pool league, and darts. I just used to sort of practice now and again when we went to a post, have a chuck on my own. But darts took a bit of a back seat. Yeah. And used to play in the pool league, and because I got good hand-eye coordination, I was quite a good pool player. Yeah. You know, but the pool league was in its infancy as well, and I never did enjoy it. I wanted to play darts, but I never did enjoy it. And one night we were playing for a pub called the Shah in Hastings. It's no longer there; it's a shop now. And we played for this team. And the rules then were, when we were both on the black ball, you had to nominate the pocket that this ball was going to go in. So my opponent hit this black ball, and it rattled in the jaws. I mean, if someone had farted, it'd fall in, you know, close to the edge, you know. Yeah. Anyway, I bent down, and the referee said, "Which pocket?" And I stood up and I said, which bloody pocket do you think this is going? You can't go nowhere. It was like in the jaw. You can't go. So I bent down again and he said, which pocket? Anyway, all my team were going, just tell him. And I said, oh, this is silly. So anyway, I potted it and he said, game to the other side, pocket not nominated. I threw the cue. I said, you can shove this game up your arse. I ain't playing this no more. It's pathetic. And I went round the other side and the landlord was a bloke called Mervyn. And I said to Mervyn, you've got a darts team here, I want to play darts. And he went, I didn't even know you played. I said, I just want to play darts. I've got to play darts. Yeah. He said, well, we're top of the league, you won't get a game. I said, don't care. I said, I chalk every week, don't care. Yeah. I'm not playing that no more, I'm not playing pool anymore, I'm playing darts. So, and within 6 years I was playing for England.
Wow, that's shows you how good that team was then. Yeah,
I just came on in leaps and bounds, you know.
So for a lot of people nowadays, that natural progression really doesn't exist because you've got all these academies, you've got all the youth tournaments and the youth tournament systems with the JDC, etc. But for a lot of players, and myself included, that progression for players back then was you played pub, and then if you was the best in your team or in that league, then you went to Super League and you kind of represented your town or city or whichever, and then it got to county and then to England.
Yeah.
So to do that in 6 years is really impressive. But what were the teams that you represented? What was your Super League team?
I was in Hastings. Hastings always had a good Super League team anyway. And it was in the East Sussex Super League. Well, it was Sussex East and West. Sussex is 2 counties, but they play 1 county Super League. So started playing Super League. Then I played, me and a bloke called Rod Booker, who's sadly no longer with us, Rodney Booker, who was an absolutely fantastic darts player. We went to the Super League meeting on not Super League County, sorry, Sussex County. We was me and him, our first season at Super League. He came top of the averages and I came second. Out of all these seasoned players, he was top, I was second in the Super League averages. So we went to the county game. We both signed on for county. It was both their first game, and he said to me, I'm shitting a brick here. I said, so am I. I said, I don't really want to play. So a bloke called Gary Lawrence, who was my mate at the time, he had a pub in Hastings. He was the county manager, and he pulled me and Rodney aside. This was like a B team on the Saturday, and he went, "You're not playing today." And I went, "Thank Christ for that." He went, "You're playing tomorrow, both of you, straight in the 80."
Wow!
From Super League.
Yeah, that's
never been.
No. I mean, well, I recently, from last season, got into the Lancashire team, and so had a really good season, Super League, and it was the natural progression of you play in the B team, and then if you, whatever happens kind of thing. And I had a good match in Cornwall, got man of the match, and it was like, right, you're playing on the A team, and stayed in the A team. Yeah. But to go straight into the A team, that's got to give you a bit more than a heebie-jeebies.
Well, the story is I wasn't ready. Rodney won 9 out of 9, and he got into the British Professional. You know, to get the highest averages in the county.
That's the uni parts.
That's it.
Yeah.
At Redcar.
Yes.
Rodney won 9 out of 9. Never played B team. 9 out of 9. Straight on the television, and he lost to Hicklin. Dennis Hicklin.
Wow. You're going to hear some names, honestly. You're going to hear some names. For the younger generation, it'd be. But for those who know the game and studied the game, or just was part of that game, you're going to hear a lot of
big names, good players, great players, And I wasn't ready. I absolutely, my back leg went, and I was shaking, and I lost to, I do remember these people. I lost my first county game to a Welsh international called Gareth Picton.
Right.
It was for, I think it was Pembrokeshire he was playing. That was my first game. And I didn't play very well at all. And they just stuck me in the B team.
Yeah.
So I played the rest of the season in the Bs. And the last game of the season, they put me back into the A's, and we were playing, I think it was either Wiltshire or Warwickshire. I think it was Wiltshire. And there was a bloke called Ray Aldridge, who was joint top with Rodney at the top of the thing. And they all come to me and said, "You've got Ray Aldridge. If you can beat him, Rodney's on the television."
Right.
And I beat him.
Like you needed more motivation.
Yeah, from the straight up again, And I beat him. And Rodney was on I got Rodney on the television.
There you go.
Well, obviously he got there by his own merit.
Of course, yeah. If you can help him out there, if there's anything you can claim to it, then so be it.
It wasn't a good experience as it happens. I was made up with it and I won and all that. But I don't think it was like, I can't really explain it. There was a few bullies in the county at the time, and I didn't have a very good experience that season, even though it was my first season.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I thought I can better myself, and I thought Sussex. I don't want to slag them off, but I thought they were full of bumpkins,
Right.
There was nobody with any ambition there.
I get you. Yeah.
And so I thought, next season, right, I'm going to play for Kent. Kent were a Premier side team.
Yeah.
Now, this is another first. Kent had never had an outside county player. They had this strict rule.
Some still do.
I think Yorkshire still do.
Yeah.
If you're outside that boundary, you're not playing. Yeah. Kent had this strict rule, and so they said, I went to a meeting and I said, I want to play. I live about 20 minutes from the Kent border, and I'm going to play Super League. They had a meeting, and I only just got sort of voted in because I knew a few of the players, and they said, you can play, but you've got to play at least 80-90% of your count. None of this 60% of your Super League games. We want you to commit.
Yeah.
And I did.
Yeah.
And fortunately, I had my dad at the time to drive me, and he didn't drive me to all of them, but he took. He was. I couldn't have done it without. I mean, this is another story. My dad, but he was a great player. My dad.
Yeah.
I taught him how to play darts, and he was a great player. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, I fulfilled me thing, played all me games, got into the Kent side. I won 29 games in the Premiership on the spin.
Wow. That's...
And that's how I got in the England team.
Yeah.
So...
Because, again, getting into that England team, I mean, you've got a who's who. I mean, if you was in the top 10 in the world...
Yeah.
That's you've got your 4 already selected because you used to have the 4s for the World Cup and European Cups, and then you had your 13-man squads. But you had a who's who of darts in that England team. So to get into that squad must have been amazing.
It was. One of my claim to fame, ticked a box, was definitely the getting into that squad before the split.
Yes,
because that was the ultimate team in the world. That
absolutely
was the best team there's ever been.
And do you think the best dressed with the red pants and the white shirt?
No. I got me. You get a letter with your sizes on it when you got picked for England and all that lot. And somebody did say to me, "Go up a size." I was like a rasher of piss then. I was like a whippet,
Yeah.
And I thought, I'm a bit buff here, I was working on the road, digging holes, so I ordered me size. Well, they used to make these things. I think Ollie had, he lived in Muswell Hill in London.
Yes,
and I think they had some sweatshop somewhere that I used to get their stuff.
I know it used to be called Peter, and I cannot remember his surname now, but he lived in Swinton, Silver Trim. Silver trim shirts.
Yeah.
So he used to do the shirts for Bunting and Martin Adams and that. And I think he definitely did Lancashire shirts back then. The red silk numbers.
Yeah.
And but I know he was doing James Wade shirts when James Wade had the grey shirt with the white trim when he won the match play.
Right.
So he was doing them shirts, but I know he was good mates. He might have done the England.
Yeah. There wasn't a lot of giving it.
No.
There wasn't a lot. I should have gone up a size But the biggest joke was the trousers. The trousers were like red flares, I don't know if people remember, but going back about 20 years, McDonald's used to have a red and white kit. You know, McDonald's are all green and grey now, aren't they?
Yeah.
They used to red and white. They used to red trousers. You look just like a McDonald's employee. You know,
because I know Darryl Fitton, like he said, he ordered, and he did the same thing. Ordered like fit, and he was like, "He's a bit snug."
To say the least.
Yeah.
It was like, everybody did. They did warn me, and I couldn't even do these trousers up. There was no giving them at all. So I phoned up whoever later, and they said. I said, I can't wear this. They said, well, you won't get another shirt. I said, well, I can wear this shirt, but it's, a bit snug.
Yeah.
But the trousers, don't worry, bring them with you to the first game. So we go to the first game. Ollie Croft took me into the back of this truck and opened up this big old trunk.
Is that
full of old trousers.
the BDO?
That's it.
Yeah.
And this massive old trunk. He opens it up, it's full of old trousers. He went, I shut the door. He said, just keep trying some on till you find a pair that fit. Right. Anyway, I ended up with a lightly soiled pair of Bobby George trousers. And they had Bobby George written down the side of the thing.
Joke.
Right?
Wow.
And the pockets had been ripped out.
Right.
They didn't have any pockets in them. It's like, they don't have pockets. Anyway. I don't know if he didn't like carrying any money with him or what.
And the thing, I mean, Ollie Croft, he was darts. He created the BDO. And I remember when I used to get Darts World magazine as a kid. I was just into the game, like watching John Lowe on Bullseye. That was my in. And then I kept seeing this thing like the British Teenage Classic, and it was at Kettering back then. And you had to enter, you had to go through qualifiers and stuff. And I'd ring up the number, and you think, it'd be the receptionist, and you hear BDO, and like, and you was talking to Ollie Croft. Ollie Croft was that man on the phone night and day. You could, obviously it was his carpet shop as well.
Tiling or carpets or something like that. He was into.
You're talking to the chairman. You're straight away, and that was just. And I remember I had to go to. Now we're going back on my age now, but. Going to the post office to get a postal order to enter the tournament. That was it. And then off to Morecambe Cricket Club for the qualifiers, and all I had was my school trousers and a school shirt. It was like I didn't know what to wear, but that was like my in with darts. But first experience, and you're talking straight to the chairperson. Nowadays, to try and get hold of someone within any of the organisations, you have to go through the receptionist to somebody else, and it's
and then that's only if they want to talk to you.
Exactly, but nowadays it's all emails and it's all electronic. But back then, you spoke to the organ grinder.
Yeah, you did.
Right from the
didn't get a lot out of them, mind you.
No. only what you wanted to know, or what he wanted you to know.
Yeah. Well, one of my I got to this England game. And I had to take a couple of days off work. It was like it's England, Scotland, Wales, like
Tri-Nations kind of thing,
And they said they send you a pack. You get your shirt, your trousers, a pack, and they send you a form of expenses. There's a letter in there saying things are tight. You can claim petrol. A bit of whatever. It was bits and bobs, day off work and stuff like that. He said, don't go mad and all that lot. So you go to the desk, and I handed it in, and they give me 15 quid. Give me an envelope with 15 quid in it. And I said, off 80 quid. No, everybody gets 15 quid. I said, well, why have I filled this bloody form in, Oh no. Anyway, she takes this form. I'm thinking, then it dawns on me. They're running that through their books.
Oh, God, yeah.
So they get
the extra.
Yeah. That's how it all works, isn't it? And really, you're ripping the England players off.
Which is
I've got
crazy.
chicken and chips, a voucher for chicken and chips, and 15 quid. Now, it was a little bit, the BDO back then and all, was a little bit favouritism going on. I'm sure Eric and John never got 15 quid.
I'm sure.
No one ever sort of let on what they got, No. I think everybody was on a different deal. But
yes.
us minions, my first, because I used to just keep my head down, keep myself to myself, you know.
Yeah.
And I got there. I didn't really know anybody. There were some offish sort of people, and there was some really, really nice people. Bob Anderson was the captain at the time.
Yeah.
Nicest bloke you'll ever meet, Bob.
Yeah.
Very accommodating and really nice bloke. I've shared rooms with Bob before, and always got on well. And on my debut, I missed out on man of the match by one dart to Mike Gregory,
who was a tremendous player as well.
One of these unsung. They don't talk enough about Mike Gregory.
No. I totally agree with that. Yeah. Mike Gregory. I mean, would Phil Taylor be who he is now?
If he hadn't.
I think that bounce out. If he had that double top, or he hadn't have had that bounce out in the last leg of possibly the greatest final. I mean, there's been. I mean, a lot of people's darts knowledge is the past 3 years. Unfortunately, because that's where we're in this boom period now. But I mean, I remember that final between Mike Gregory and Phil Taylor, and I mean, Gregory had an unorthodox throw himself. I mean, it was upright. Exactly.
He's not going to let go of this.
Yeah, but if you watch his earlier footage before he was using the darts he was using in that final, he was using something more like a John Lowe, and he was a lot more fluent.
Yeah, he was.
But it's just things changed.
I think he was the original 30-gram bomber. I think he used 28, 30 grams.
Yeah,
and all of a sudden he went to a Jockey Wilson copy sort of dart.
Yeah. Legally different.
And he was playing absolutely. I mean, when you see his CV, what he won, it was absolutely phenomenal.
I mean, one of my favourite tournaments to go to, like when I was doing a lot of travelling in the 2010s. But the Swiss Open was, I just love that venue and that place, and the trophy there is just gorgeous.
Yeah.
And you just see the names on there, and Mike Gregory's was multiple on there, and and you just see all these names. I'm just going one day. I always got to the quarterfinals. That was my glass ceiling there. Quarterfinal of the Swiss Open. But I looked at that trophy and I'm going, one day I just want to. I mean, I will pay the extra carriage. Because it was a stunning trophy. But you see the names on there.
It's just that venue is a good venue, and my Swiss Open story is I got there when I was at the peak of my powers, playing absolutely brilliant. I played Michael Rosenauer.
Yes, from Germany.
He had long hair then. Yeah. Right? He had about 20 people with him, all screaming and shouting. I think it was the last 16. We're going all the way. Last leg, I goes 180, 180, 60, 45. Bent the wire a double 18. I mean, it bent the wire.
Was it a round wire or was it the diamond?
It was the old, I can't remember now, but it was probably a diamond. Probably, honestly, I cracked this wire. And I'm the only one who went, ooh, no one, because they was all I pulled my darts out, and all I heard was, he went out on 1-2-1 on the ball. What, last leg, eh?
Yeah, that is a last leg.
That is a last leg.
Anyway, so obviously he threw first, but then
redemption was he got 9 darted by Per Scow in the semi-final.
Wow. So he missed out on one, but he couldn't miss the other one. He got done by one in the end. But I mean, the Swiss Open. I mean, a lot of the tournaments abroad. I mean, and when did that start for you? Because obviously you've spoken about county into the England setup.
Yeah.
But then when did tournaments start? Was you doing more local opens, and then was you doing the county opens? Because you always have like the Cheshire Open and the Lancashire. Was it that? And then when did you start going further afield?
I got myself a car, and like I said, when I first started, my dad wasn't playing, and my dad used to play golf, and he was a scratch golfer.
Wow.
Scratch. But you can't win any money. When you're an amateur scratch golfer, you're not allowed to win money. It's all like hampers and television and radios and stuff like that.
Like youth darts was back in the day. I won a hi-fi. Hi-fi.
Yeah, out of all rubbish. Yeah. So I went up the pub, and I come home with 20 quid. And he went, where'd you get it? I mean, you're talking mid-80s. Where'd you get that 20 quid? So I says, I won it out of the pub at darts. Playing half it.
Yeah.
We used to play winner stays on all dinner time. The pubs were only open for 2 hours then.
Yeah.
So it's winner stays on for an hour and a half. when someone used to chalk up an halvey, everyone put £1 in, winner takes, they went there, win this halvey, 20 quid. My old man went, get me a set of darts. So he used to have a jug up the pub of darts. Anyway, I nicked a set of darts out of the jug. They were only like 14 grams.
Yeah.
And that's what he played. He never played with anything else. That's
crazy,
what I gave him, these
yeah.
bloody darts. Anyway, he put a board up in the front room. 2 years later, he pounding this board. He sold his clubs. He went, right, I'm ready. Let's go to the pub. And I went, he's 54. 54. So I went, you sure? Yeah, let's go to the pub. At the pub, he wins it. How do you do that? How do you do that? It must be in the family.
But it's a hand-eye coordination thing. Because if he was a scratch golfer, I mean, obviously he knows momentum and stuff
he had
like
a wooden leg. He fell off a roof when he was 14. He had a wooden leg, but they took his kneecap out because he'd smashed his leg. So he had his one leg was 3 inches shorter than the other because he took his kneecap out. So he had a limp. It looked like he had a wooden leg because he couldn't bend his leg.
Right.
And none of these prosthetic things in. They just sawed 2 bits out and sewed it together, you know. And he had this limp, and he played with a built-up shoe.
Right.
And he was brilliant. Absolutely scratch golfer. He used to play snooker. Before, when I was a little, he used to play snooker. He won all the snooker tournaments in the town. And then he played darts. And I always remember we went to this the Bromley Open, and it was about 500 quid for the winner, and there must have been 200 or 300 blokes there, right? And darts was, you know, you're talking like late 80s, right?
Yeah.
So we go to first round. I drew Gino Raymond, who was an England international. Do you remember he used to smoke a cigar?
Yeah.
He played for England a couple of times. Anyway, I drew him first round, and he beat me. And my old man's there. He went, "You should have beaten him. You should have beaten." I said, "Look, he's an England international. It was a bit of a bum first. You should have beaten him. He's crap." I said, "He's an England international, Dad." Anyway, I went round the other bar. We're having a drink, and I'm just sort of waiting for him, you know. Anyway, I'm round the other bar. Time went by, like 2-3 hours. We were having a right laugh with my mates. Somebody taps me on the shoulder, says, "You go around, your dad's in the final round there." I went, "Is he?" He went, "Yeah." He said he's got Gino Raymond in the final. I went,
"Oh, for God."
I couldn't believe it. Anyway, we're sitting there. I didn't go round there. Anyway, 10 minutes later, he comes walking in with the trophy and the money, and he taps me on the shoulder. He said, "I told you he was crap."
Brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant.
But you look at that. I mean, it could have been a father-son final.
It could have been. As it happens, if I'd have won that game, Well, we've had them.
You've had games.
Yeah, we've had them. Yeah, I don't know. I know you're going to where you want me to go with this, but we've got. Oh, my man was fantastic. He was. I could go on about him all day long, but there was one time we went to a pub in Croydon. I used to live in Croydon for a while. I was working. I was lodging with my mate called Les Bayliss, and there was a big pink pub called the New Addington.
Right.
It was called the Cunningham. It was in New Addington.
Right.
And it's massive pink. It's no same here with most pubs. No longer there. It's all gone. You know, it's all houses now, whatever. So they had this tournament, and it was guaranteed £600 for the winner and a golden dart.
That's a lot of money now.
Yeah.
Let alone then.
Yeah.
Then that's a big chunk of money.
Big chunk. It is. And this golden dart, I mean, they were probably worth 100 quid then. They're probably worth 700 or 800.
Was it one of them unicorn
One of them ones on a chain.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah.
Quite heavy, but quite a chunky thing. So there was about 15 of us in this pub. I went with my dad. It was like who's who of, like, Dave Askew was there, and Simon Duke, and Johnny Hall, Johnny Auld, and honestly, it's like a who's who of Surrey darts, right? So me and my dad goes. So they was doing some ringing around because this was all guaranteed. The landlord had guaranteed this first prize. I say there was about 15 people there. So while they were trying to drum up some, because no mobile phones there.
No, it's all online.
Trying to drum up some trade, whatever. So they said, what we'll do is we'll have £10 in, one leg 701, winner takes all. This, I could tell you, this is like, yeah, it was about £1.50 a pint then.
Yeah.
Like, so we all went, yeah. Anyway, I beat Simon Duke in the final. So I'm £150 up before we've even started.
Wow.
Right? This is honestly, this is, so they said, right, we're still waiting for people to come. We'll have a blind draw pairs.
Right.
And I drew me dad in the blind draw pairs, and we won it. So we got about 60 quid each.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're well up. Still waiting for people. We'll have a pairs. So I play with me dad.
Of course you do.
And we won it. Another 60 quid each. Yeah.
The Burgess household is loving it at the
People in
moment.
this pub, and I'm like a millionaire. Like. Anyway, they had a player called Andy Nye. Have you ever heard a player called?
I haven't heard that name. But
No, yeah, he was a good player around the Surrey area at the time, and he was married to his wife at the time, Kathy. She used to run a bully board out the back, like
Right.
it used to be 50 pence a go. After a certain amount of hours, who'd hit the most bullseyes with 9 darts takes some money. I won the first one, 50 quid.
Bloody hell.
My dad won the next. They'd done another one after that. My dad won the other one, 50 quid. Like,
This is like the Saturdays of Saturdays.
Yeah. You wouldn't get this sort of money now.
No.
Yeah. Anyway.
Just needed 6
So
numbers and then you
eventually,
started.
there really was about 16, 17 people there. They just couldn't get any more. So they said, right, we're going to have the singles. I got beaten in the semi-final by Dave Askew.
Yeah.
I got 60 quid. A mile man got beaten in the other semi-final. I can't remember who by, but he got 60. So me and him took about £500 of that pub.
It's not bad at all.
With
is it?
about 15 people there.
That's crazy. That is a
That's
crazy.
unbelievable, isn't it? Honestly, we went home like millionaires.
Yeah, I know.
Went for a curry and
And everything.
Yeah,
All the poppadoms and everything. The
put
works.
deposit on a house. And
That's, yeah. Oh, let's not go into that. Let's not go into back in my day.